guys, welcome back to my Facebook page. My name is Sarah. Today is very special. I'm very excited to make an official announcement about my new business partner. So you guys know that I've been doing this all alone and pretty much like one-man show, apart from my PA and a few PAs in the past, together with some videographers or video editors. I've been doing this all alone, so every detailed content and everything. Last month, I was thinking it would be better if I have a business partner or someone who would do it with me. And I was thinking it would be better if I partner with someone who is a male teacher, because I feel like there's some advantages of having a male teacher because I'm a female teacher already, right? And then I feel like a lot of you guys, a lot of my audience are male, and you guys probably wonder and would love to know more about male perspectives, right? Or guys' perspectives. So I think it would be really useful to have this person or this teacher on my team, and I feel very honored that he said yes. So I would love for you guys to meet him, and so I'm gonna bring him to live stream now. So I'm gonna interview him, ask him a few questions, and we're gonna tell you what our plans are, and also at the end of the video, we're gonna teach you the pronoun gu. Yeah, so we're gonna give you a little lessons today, like a small lesson, quick lessons today. So stay tuned to the end, okay? So I think he's ready now. All right. Approve. Here we go. Okay. This is ได้ยินไหม
Hello
คะ
สวัสดีครับได้ยินครับผมซา
ส
ร่า
วัส
ได้
ดี
ยินไหม
ค่ะได้ยิน
สวัสดี
เสียง
ค
ซา
รั
ร่า
บ
ไหมคะ
ได้ยิน
ได้
ชัด
ยิน
เจ
ใช่
น
ไหม
ครับผม
โอเค
ซาร่าได้ยิน
โอ
เสีย
เค
งผม
ค่ะ
ไม่สะท้อนกันเนาะ
ไม่สะท้อนซาร่าเอาไมโครโฟนออกแล้วเพราะว่ามันไม่น่าใช้ได้
โอเคได้
So
ครับผม
guys, this is ครู Word นะคะ
สวัสดีครับ
ครู
ทุกคนสวัสดีครับ Hello
ครู Word นะคะ
everyone I'm Word you can call me ครู Word Yep
ครู Word อ่ะ
ใช่
วันนี้เรา
ค
จะ
รั
มา
บ
คุยกันนิดนึงนะคะครู Word เป็นคนไทยใช่ไหมคะ Are you Thai
I'm actually well this is hard to describe actually because I'm actually an Indian who was born in Thailand So yeah, my upbringing happened here in Thailand. I was born and raised here, but when I turned 15-ish, you can say, I went to the US to further my study, to continue. I started high school over there, and then I went on to diploma. Yeah. And after I graduated, I stuck there. You can say I was stuck there. I stayed there. I stayed there for like about a year. And then I decided to come back to Thailand, and then I started my career as a teacher. When I started my career, I started as a kid teacher. You can say teachers. I started teaching at a tutoring school, focusing on exams prep. Just to find whether I want to become a teacher or not, and would it be a good and interesting experience for me or not. I tried that for about say a year, if I'm not wrong. Then I felt like, okay, I had enough experience over here on this side of the teaching experience already. Then I moved on to started teaching to start teaching adults.
Okay.
And I kind of fell in love with that, to be honest. To be honest, I started teaching English to Thais. And an opportunity came up after that a year. I started my own business, started teaching English. Then I got to know a few, foreigners, and one of them approached me on Facebook and then asked me if I was interested in teaching Thai to him. So that was my first experience teaching Thai, and that happened say 8 years ago. So I've been in this profession for like the past 10 years now.
It wasn't Luke, right?
It was actually, yes. I didn't really want to mention him, but yeah,
the same
since
student.
you mentioned him.
Study
Yeah,
with me
okay.
later on. Yeah. Cool.
So
Okay,
yeah,
that was so
Luke was actually my first student, and then he studied with me for, let's say, I think about four years, give or take, I'd say.
4
Yep.
years.
And then from him, I got a few other students. I think he
Mhm.
mentioned me to them, to his friends, I guess. And I
Mhm.
got a few more from them. And currently, I'm also teaching, one person. He is from the US as well.
Okay.
He's actually in the Marine.
Mhm.
And oh no, not Marine, sorry, Navy. He's in the Navy. นาวิกโยธิน
Now
in
we
Thai,
can
as we
okay.
say.
Okay.
ใช่
Yeah.
So right, yeah, right now my teaching experience in terms of Thai have always been focused on, advanced or intermediate level,
Mhm.
instead of the basic.
Mhm.
Yeah. So คิดว่าตัวเองเด่นทางด้านการสอนระดับ intermediate หรือว่ากล
ค่ะ
างๆขึ้นไปจนถึงระดับ
หน่อย
สูง
ค่ะ
มากกว่าใช่เพราะเราชอบสอนในเชิงสนทนามากกว่าที่จะเป็นแบบพื้นฐานสอนสะกดคำออกเสียงคำอะไรเงี้ยครับ
เข้าใจ
จะเน้นไปทางนั้นมากกว่า
ถามนิดนึง
ครับผม
what is like teaching Thai to foreigners like to English speakers compare with teaching English to Thai is it like much different
To be honest, I don't really find a lot of differences in them. In the end of the day, it's just answering questions. And I get this from both sides. When I'm teaching English to Thai students, they come with me with lots of questions relating to English.
right
Yeah. And same thing with, students who are learning Thai from me. The only difference would be I have to explain, in Thai or English. That would
yeah
be the difference. But I do find that Thai grammar is a bit more tricky because we do not have sets of
right
rules, versus
I
English
agree
grammar. It's a bit clearer when it comes to English grammar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah
Thai grammar is a bit vague and all over the place.
okay just want
Mhm.
to give our audience a background a little bit how we got to know each other so I think we connected through TikTok was that right I'm not sure like a few years back
Yeah, I don't
maybe
don't
yeah
remember, to be honest.
and then
Yeah, I
I
think it was
found
on TikTok and then
yeah
Facebook.
and
Yeah.
then I connected the dot about Luke and having you as his teacher and then he mentioned about you
Right.
and then I think we became kind of like line friends or Facebook friends or something and then we
Yeah,
asked
we
you
did.
questions I think yeah about English and stuff
Right.
yeah
Uh-huh.
so that's how we connected and I feel like he's like the more I ask him about English and Thai I feel sometimes when I have questions about ending particles especially ending particles that I feel like stuck I will reach out to
Mm-hmm.
you and ask questions and I feel like wow you're actually knowledgeable I feel like it will be good for my audience and Thai learners in general to also learn from you and that's why
Right. Oh,
I'm
thank
thinking
you.
of having you on board
Uh-huh.
like and really happy to have you in the team now yeah
Right. Thank you for
so
having me.
of course um so we're actually planning to make podcasts right
Right. Yeah,
and
that's
make
one
videos
of the things we want to do. Yeah.
yeah
Starting from some short videos lesson,
yeah
obviously, but focusing a little bit more on the intermediate side and advanced sides from
Mhm.
now on, and mixed with what you're already doing, for
yeah
the beginners. Yeah.
um
And then podcast is another good way
podcast
for us to reach out. Yeah, podcast is another good way for us to reach out to our audience and students.
yeah
So yeah,
that's good and also
that's
I'm
good.
planning to have you help me with the audio for my students too because I'm only female voice here and so it would be great to have you to help me out with the male
Yeah,
voice
sounds nice. Yeah,
lessons
sounds nice. Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
so for the podcast too it would be great to have like female and male voice together
Yeah, interacting on a
yeah
topic, exchanging opinions would be fun, I guess.
that's
Hmm.
right in terms of the videos though because we might make videos together at some point guys but for now we're just gonna make them separately I
Yeah,
think we're just gonna put at least once a week
yeah,
right video
yeah. I'll do
yeah
one video a week
yeah
in the beginning, and let's say,
posting on
if
this
I
channel
have more time, then yeah, I'll do
yeah
more for sure.
also I just want to elaborate a little bit on what word said like he's like expertise is intermediate and advanced right Thai but I
Hmm.
personally feel like the first video that you show me he already made one video I'm gonna post tomorrow guys so the first video I think actually that one is also for beginners so I think sometimes some videos, I think definitely he can make it. You can make it more like,
Right, well, a mix and
yeah,
match. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Freestyle. It's not
freestyle.
like strict where it has
Yeah,
to be intermediate
yeah,
and advanced only.
right.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone can enjoy the
Yes,
video for sure. When you
definitely.
watch it, I'm pretty sure that there are things that you can learn. Doesn't matter which level you are.
Mm-hmm,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Because I'm gonna throw in some Thai as well when I'm making the video, not just the English. So yeah, a lot of people who are in the advanced or intermediate level, they can practice the listening and see how I connect the
good.
sentences and the particles in them. Pretty sure it's gonna be helpful for everyone.
That's good. Yes, good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So we actually planning to we're actually planning on writing a book together, but that's like probably
Yeah.
like a year or so. What we were thinking was grammar, like Thai grammar. Yeah. What do you think about
Mm-hmm.
it? What's your idea about it?
Well, as I mentioned early on, when we started the
Mm-hmm.
session, that Thai grammar is a bit vague and all over the place, right? So it's going to be quite challenging for us to actually try to pin it down because it doesn't matter how good you are when it comes to particles and grammar parts, there
Mm-hmm.
are always some, gray area for you. So it's really, really hard to pin it down and, point out the differences between each particles we have in Thai.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be challenging for us, but pretty sure that we can come up with something that help
Something.
our
Yeah.
readers, yeah, to understand more, or get a better picture of what ending particles are and how you can use them in a proper way. I'm pretty sure that
Okay.
we can nail it down on
Definitely.
that part.
Really.
Mhm.
I'm also thinking that this book could be for beginners all the way to advanced learners,
Yeah,
like a
we'll do a
manual.
series. Yeah, we'll do a
Yeah,
series
yeah,
of
yeah.
books. Yeah, yeah.
That
Let's
sounds
do
fun.
that. Yep. Uh-huh.
All right, so that's
And
pretty much. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, and then we might throw in some books that can help, people understanding, ready-made sentences instead of just going
Oh,
through
right,
the
right, right,
jigsaw
right.
puzzles, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Sorry.
instead of just learning everything before you can create a sentence, here's another book for you guys so that you can just read them, understand it, and then
Mm-hmm.
you can just use the sentences as they are.
Right away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That would be a good
Good.
way as well.
Anything else you want to add before we throw a quick lesson today?
It's pretty much. I don't really know if anyone's watching us right now. I can see there are 10 people watching, but
they they
very
come and
little
go. They come
interaction.
and
Yeah.
go, but they're gonna come watch later.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Hopefully they do.
yes.
Yes. Uh,
Okay.
I guess that's
Maybe
pretty much I want to add on for now.
they were a little disappointed because the votes. They voted for a female teacher. Yeah,
Right. I saw the poll,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
most of them were leaning towards, another female teacher.
Two two ladies cannot be together, guys. It's not gonna be a good idea. No.
Right. And I think it's actually nice for
Hmm.
them to get to hear the male voice
Yeah,
as a teacher because
exactly.
a lot of the students are also male, right?
Hmm.
So when they hear how a male person actually structure
Yeah.
the sentence, how they form things, how they say specific sentence in a specific way, I don't really want to put in a masculine way, but
Hmm.
it does happen because some of the words in Thai
Definitely.
relate on the
Yeah.
female and male part as well. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Like speaking about the particles, right? Polite
Mm-hmm.
particles, we have like gender particles. That's why I
Right,
think it's important to learn from a male teacher as well. Also,
right.
though, I was gonna. There are also some like cultural aspects into gender as well. I think it's different, definitely different.
Exactly,
Oh, I was
exactly.
gonna
I
say
totally
in
agree.
my class when I have a male student, I
Right.
usually check their register or range, their voice range. So if they say something
Mm-hmm.
like "ma," like too high,
Right.
I will have to imitate like a male voice and say "ma,"
Right.
like this.
Because the pitch
Yeah,
for male
yeah,
and
the
female
pitch.
speakers are
Right,
different. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
right, right.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Anyway,
Uh-huh.
so all right, so we're ready for talking about the pronoun gu.
Cool, right, which
Yeah,
is one of the taboo
right.
pronouns that a lot of teachers would try to say, don't use it.
Don't use it. What's your take on
Right.
it?
I personally feel that this happens to anyone learning a second language,
Mhm.
doesn't matter what it is. If a native or a teacher of that language hears someone start using offensive language as a native hearing someone who's using this as a second language saying something like this, I guess they kind of create a defensive mechanism for themselves by stopping someone else using these things. Okay. Another word that I really want to point out before we get to the word gu is the usage of the word mia. So,
yeah.
a few of
love
my
that
students, right? A
A
few of
lot
my
of
students
layers.
have asked me, yeah, that why is it offensive for us as foreigners using the word mia
Between wife.
instead of saying, yep, the word mia means wife, but this is a colloquial way of saying wife in Thai, right? A more formal way and respectful way of saying wife in Thai is palaya,
Yeah.
right? But when you go out there, when you're living your everyday life, it's rare that you get to hear the word paraya in Thai. I would say most certainly not many Thais would refer to their better half as paraya, right? In
Yeah.
Thai culture,
Yeah.
they'd say fan more, yes,
Yeah,
but to be more
exactly.
clear, they'd say mia, right? And
Right.
few of my students have asked me whether it's offensive to say mia, because when they say mia, Thai people will try to correct them and say, no, you should say palaya, right?
But it's not really what we said in conversation. Even my
Exactly,
dad calls my mom Mia. Like
exactly.
joking when we joke around and stuff. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, in Thai culture, when we talk about someone we are married to, we say fan as well in Thai, right? For example. But at the same time, what I'm trying to say here that this is like a defensive mechanism that Thais actually created for themselves, hearing someone non-Thai speaking Thai. So they try to say that it doesn't look nice, it doesn't sound nice when you're actually speaking Thai using these less formal words, or I can say lean towards offensive side of the language, right? So the word "gu," it's one of the words that lean towards the offensive side of the spectrum when it comes to
Right.
the usage of pronouns, right? So,
So can we
mhm.
can we can we tell them first what is school though?
Right,
School.
"gu" is I
Mm-hmm.
in English if we were to compare it. Yeah, in English we only have 7 pronouns, right? When it comes to subject pronoun, for example, right? And when you refer to yourself in English, there's only one word for you, which is I, right? As a pronoun subject. In Thai, there's so many of them, depending on the context, the mood, the tone, the emotion of the speaker, right? Gu is one of them, right? So just to remind everyone else, what are other pronouns we can use to refer to yourself as the first singular pronoun for the first person is I, right?
Yeah.
So in Thai we have "ผม," right? We have
Tan.
"ฉัน,"
Tan. Yeah.
right? And then we have "เรา," right?
Rao.
We have "เขา" if you're trying to be a little bit cute, talking to your
Romantic.
girlfriend. Yeah.
Kao. Yeah.
So "เขา." What else we have? We have "ka" as well, right?
Ua. Ua. Ua.
Or a bit Chinese, right? I get used, but a bit
Yeah.
more of the Chinese side.
Right.
What else do we have except apart from the one that I mentioned? That's pretty much.
Yeah.
And then go is
Thank
one of
you.
them. Obviously, that's one we're going to focus on. So yeah, for me, I use school when I'm talking to friends that I'm close with, not just people that I know, right? So say if I'm in a working environment, if I'm at my office, for example, I wouldn't use "gu" with everyone I know. There would be certain group of people that I would use the word "gu" with. Probably the one that I hang out with the most, maybe their friends as well, not just colleague, but their friends as well. And then people who work with different department in a different department would be the one that I wouldn't use "gu" with. And like as I say that it's very I wouldn't say very offensive, but it falls on the offensive side of the spectrum when it comes to the pronoun. So
I
you
agree.
need to use it very informally. If you're in a formal setting, "gu" is unacceptable, so do not use it. But when you are in a friendly environment, maybe you're over at your friend's place talking about things, people you know really well, "gu" comes into place here. Uh, and usually, from my perspective, I rarely use gu with women.
Good.
There are, I guess, a handful of people that I use the word gu with right now, like probably one or two of them. Yeah. Otherwise, no. I feel that gu is a bit offensive to be saying these things to a female person. So I
Yeah.
just say เธอ. And when I refer to myself, there are level of intimacy as well.
Mhm.
Say I'm close with someone. Then I refer to myself as ผม, or then I call my name, for example. And if I feel that there's a bit distance in the intimacy between the two people, between me and the other person, then I would start calling myself เรา, and then เธอ, for example.
Yeah.
Right? If it's formal, then ผม and คุณ would make sense. Yeah. But กู is a bit offensive, so yeah, I rarely use it with women. Let's say that. What about you? Do you use it?
It's about before I answer that question, I'll tell you first how I explain the word "gu" in my class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Please.
So I usually say as a Thai learner, I'll always suggest that they did not use it yet until they actually understand a lot of nuances of pronouns and stuff, just to be
Right.
sure that they wouldn't offend anyone.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially if they're just like beginners and they keep using "gu gu gu gu." People are gonna think like,
Right.
"Who taught you that? Who's your
Right.
teacher?" Right?
Mhm, mhm.
So I usually say in professional context, not appropriate at all. Gu can be appropriate for guys talking among themselves, like
Right.
brothers, really close
Mhm.
friends. But in
Right.
general, it's considered rude. So gu is never polite, but can be appropriate in a context.
Right.
Just how I explain. Yeah.
Mhm.
I personally don't use gu with my girlfriends. I would use it when I'm angry, but I would refer to the other person as moon, gu and moon,
Right.
like that.
Right.
Yeah, when I vent with my PA,
Right.
I would just say like, "Oh my God, like this person, did this again. Like, they leave me alone." And then I would address myself gu, and then the third person as moon, like I and you, I and you. But I
Right.
would never say, I wouldn't say go gu and moon, like addressing them directly is
Right.
really rare. Yeah, because
Right.
my mom, even I teach these word on live stream or in my videos, my mom's already like frown upon me, like she didn't like it. She's like old fashioned. It's like,
Right.
why do you teach them like that? It's not
Right.
polite. I said, Mom,
Mhm.
they're gonna hear it in Thai lakon, TV shows,
Right.
so they're supposed to know what gu is.
Right.
Hi.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
In some sense, the word guru actually can describe someone's being authoritative. So
yeah.
when you're angry, you want to show authority, right?
Right. Good
So
point.
the word guru
Yeah.
come into place in these kind of sentence. When you mention people are going to hear this when they're watching, Thai drama, lakon, and stuff. The word guru come into place in those dialogues to show authority to the person saying these things, right?
That's a
Say
really
like a
good
boss would say this to an employee when
point.
they're angry to show that they have the authority over that person as well,
Yeah.
right? And if we go back in time, the original of the word "gu" used to be something that was totally
คุณ
acceptable
ใช่ไหม
by a lot
พ่อ
of
ขุนราม
people.
คำแห
Yeah,
ง
yeah. If you go back to those time,
right,
right? And a lot of
right.
people, if you go outside of Bangkok, when you go to the suburban area, you'll still hear a lot of people use the word "gu" in everyday Thai,
Yeah, yeah.
and they don't find it
Countryside's okay.
offensive. Exactly.
Countryside's
Right.
okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But when it comes to the city, this is, as I said, as seen as a bit offensive, right?
Right.
So you wouldn't hear this if you are a student in a school saying these words. Teachers aren't gonna be okay with it.
No.
They might call these kids and discipline them and explain to them that they shouldn't use offensive. So yeah, another word that people should know is คำหยาบ,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
คำหยาบis curse words.
Yeah.
So กู belongs into these categories,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So yeah, so the word กู, yeah, I think you sum it up pretty well.
Okay. Great.
That it is.
What should be the pronoun that Thai? Well, this is why all what we have been talking about now just kind of summarize why I don't want them to use gu yet
Right.
for beginners. Really important.
Mhm.
There's a lot of nuances to these words, a lot of
Right.
layers too,
Yeah.
cultural references too. So what would be the word that you would suggest for them to use? Is it
Right. So
is that
I'd say that my word choices to refer to myself are three things, right? The first one is when I call my name, right? I address myself as a third person, right? That's what I do. So if I were to talk to you, say addressing myself as a third person, then I would say word ไม่แน่ใจ so I'm not sure,
แน่ใจ
right? เดี๋ยวขอ word ไปดูก่อน let me find out, right? So I would address
Yeah.
myself as a third person. I guess this is really normal for Thais. I guess this can come across as a bit odd for foreigners, because
Yeah.
they don't do that in their native language,
Right.
right? Second one I use is ผม say if I'm talking to my students, even though I'm close with them, I've been teaching them for so many years, for example, I still call myself ผม with them because there's a level of professionalism that I want to maintain with them, right?
Okay,
So
someone
yeah,
asked someone
what's
asked
the live
what is
about?
the live stream about? It's about introducing my new business partner. We were talking about the pronoun gu and the pronoun that we would suggest for you guys to use rather than gu.
Ooh,
Yeah,
right.
and then Word said that he uses his own name, so he addresses himself like a third person. You think that's feminine though? A
Not
little bit?
really. Not
Not
really. But
always,
but
right?
to be honest, I do kind of, see what you're trying to say here. Because if I were to talk to a male person, yeah, it's kind of rare for me to address myself as
Exactly.
my
Yeah.
name, but it does
No.
happen with I'm talking
Uh,
to friends who are always polite, who never uses, cuss words, then yeah, I would refer to myself as word as well,
okay.
right?
Okay. And the
Right.
second one is
And ผม right? And the third one would be เรา
เรา. Yeah.
Yep,
So
yep, yep.
conversational เรา. Yeah.
ใช่
เรา.
ใช่
เรา.
Yep. เรา or เรา Yep. I do find that a lot of Thais drop the rolling R, the รอเรือ
Right.
sound, right? So
เรา.
yeah, that's why the
เรา.
first thing that came out instead of เรา is เรา
เรา. Yeah.
เรา
It's okay. You can speak real Thai.
Right.
เรา
Yeah.
เรา
So
เรา
that's what I would say there are three pronouns that I, use the most.
กู.
Right.
Your
No,
name.
not go. Not go.
Not cool. Depends.
Right. So my name,
Your
ผม
name.
and
ผม
เรา
แล้วก็เรา
Yeah.
So Sarah. Yeah, you Sarah. I rarely use Chan, honestly. I say Sarah.
Right.
I'll say Chan for my Facebook posts, like my
Right.
personal posts on my personal account. But I don't really say Chan. I say Sarah,
Right.
and I say it depends how how many times a day I'm angry with someone. I'll say cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
And I
So
guess a lot of times with Thais, you can actually drop the
right,
pronoun when it comes to referring to yourself, especially when you're speaking
exactly.
to someone in a sentence, right?
Mhm.
Lots of Thai sentences, when you're referring to an action that you've done, you can actually just drop the pronoun. I mean, in English, it's necessary to address the subject. Say, if I were to say, I'm hungry, in Thai, I could just say, หิว
Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah.
have to say ผม หิว
Pronoun.
right?
Right.
I can just drop the pronoun. So
ใช่
yeah, that's one of the things that is quite interesting about Thai. You
It-
do not need to put in the pronouns or the subject all the time. You
right.
can just drop it.
And we actually use pronouns to, a lot of times we use pronouns to get attention from the other person. Like เธอ
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, this is quite interesting. In English, we don't do
You,
that. We call their
you.
name. Right. But a lot of
That
times
would be
we say
weird.
you. Right, because
Hey,
they
you.
actually think that in Thai, because they say เธอ they think that it's
Right?
okay to
You.
say you.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not quite
Uh-huh.
polite. Hey,
Right.
you.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But it depends if you really want to get someone's attention, instead of saying เธอ you can actually also say, like we do in English, ขอโทษนะครับ right?
Yeah.
Excuse me, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do that as well. ขอโทษนะครับ But yeah, I guess saying เธอ would be very common. If I were to see you outside somewhere and I don't know who you were, I could just walk up to you and say เธอ and then I might need something, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Right. And I guess sometimes when you go to certain places
Mm.
like gas station, restaurants, a way to refer to the employees of the place, you actually use an adjective.
Mm.
So you would say สุดหล่อ คนสวย
Oh, that's the way. That's right.
right
That's a good one.
right
That's a good one. I like it.
right
Yeah. Love this one. That's good. This
right
could be a
right
podcast, you know? Like
yeah, we
a
should do one on
first
pronouns like
first
this.
episode. Yeah,
Yeah,
guys, stay tuned. So maybe we're gonna have like this kind of conversation and
ได้
podcasts, and then
ได้
educate
yep
people and tell all about pronouns and stuff. I think
mhm.
it's fun to have someone who can share and then talk
Yeah,
about something
bring
like this.
in some different perspectives to the
Exactly.
conversation. Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for
You're
being here
welcome.
tonight.
Thank you for
And
having me.
so guys, I'm gonna post his first video. It's gonna still under the brand Time with Sarah.
Right. Yeah. We're going by
Yeah.
this brand because
Yeah.
I think it's just be easier for you guys to stay connect to the page instead of changing the whole thing. So yeah, Ty with Sarah, it's good enough.
Yes. So welcome to the team. It's only me and you.
Well, that's all we need.
That's all we need. Yeah. Stay tuned, guys, for our podcast, our videos, maybe courses in the future, and books.
Yep.
Yeah. Grammar books
Yep.
and sentences and all that. So stay tuned.
All
right. Thank you.
Bye. You guys have a good night. Thank you for listening to us today.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.